Alright, hey, what is up folks? It is me, Eddie, and I am back with another episode of Katawa Shoujo. I don't think there's even anything more to say about this, honestly. Let's just get it. Actually, I will do a rapid sound check. Not now. I don't care. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, we'll just get into it. I need to do a sound check, and also to make sure if you guys are saying anything. Oh, Salame made a stream. Oh, it was a Honkai stream. Just give me one itty-bitty second right here, okay? Yeah, okay, I think everything's good. Anyways, where was I? Muto reads the equations and formulas to us one by one in his usual unenthusiastic monotone directly from the book. It's possible that he might be excited about teach. Haven't we read this before? I don't know why I'm so low energy right now. I'm like really tired. Ugh. I'm almost starting to regret walking around the city yesterday with Lily. Wait, no, I swear this is my second time going through this, not like the third or fourth. Whatever. Since leaving the hospital, I've done very little physical exertion. Walking to and from the local corner store hardly counts. Despite Amy's attempts when I first arrived at Yamaku, I've largely given up on the idea of ever returning to my old level of fitness. Why? Why? Come on, Hisan, come on. I little doubt that's why walking around town for so many hours has made me quite sore. It's depressing, and it reminds me of one more thing I can't do since I had my heart attack. It makes me feel pathetic. Come on, you can get your old level of fitness back. You just gotta believe, bucko. Now, Ikizawa. Yes, I remember this. It's odd for Muto to ask Hanako a question, but not unheard of. She quickly jumps to her feet, a little startled, and immediately pins her eyes on him. She knows Muto calling on her is rare, so all eyes in the classroom are going to be on her. This way, she doesn't run the risk of making eye contact with anyone else. Yes? In this particular example of a redox reaction, the combustion of methane reaction actually produces one more product than is listed. That product is... Even though it's a softball question, she timidly waits a bit before answering, biting down slightly on her lower lip as if to keep her concentration. Heat? Well done. This is an endothermic reaction, with the reaction giving more heat than is put into it. Receiving a nod from Muto, Hanako takes her seat once again and gives a relieved sigh. A shaky start, but it's something. It'll be nice to take her out for her birthday, somewhere different from the usual isolation of her room and the tea room. With the progress she's made up until now, I don't think she'll have much of a problem going to the city. Right then. For the remainder of this class, I'd like you to work in groups of 3 or 4 on the problems in Chapter 12. I'll be here if you need me. Muto sits down behind his desk, pulls some loose sheets out of a folder, and starts on some paperwork of his own. I thought teachers were supposed to do that kind of thing after class, not during it. Hey! Regardless, I look to my right to pick out someone to form a group with. Given the 2 smiling faces hovering near mine, I don't think I'm gonna get much say in the matter. I suppose we have a group then. Ichan, you wanna work together? Okay, that's great. It's really been a while. The class begins the process of noisily shuffling the desk around, with Shizune doing the same as she puts hers in front of mine. She's a little lucky not to be able to hear the din of the classroom, which is loud enough to cause some discomfort. Truth be told, working with Shizune and Misha is probably a good outcome. Is the timeline going to change here at all, or are we going to get that moment again? Shizune and I are pretty good at the subject, and Misha has really nice handwriting. Almost looks like a horror figure. Oh, guys, if you know Fate Stay Night, or like if you've ever seen the anime, I still haven't played the visual novel, but if you know the anime, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've ever done the Sakura's route, you guys know what I'm talking about. Aww. Good afternoon, Hanako. Hello. Shisune finally notices Hanako after looking up and following the gaze of Misha and I. In quick measure, she taps Misha on the shoulder to get her attention before signing away. Shi-chan says if you're looking for a group, you can join ours. Hanako looks down and blushes a little at the offer. Of all the people in the classroom, Hanako's the most familiar with the three of us, so it's reasonable she'd come to us first. Then again, her actually coming up to a group with the intention of joining them is something she apparently very rarely did before. She leaves briefly to drag her desk over, and Shizune and Misha wheel back to me as soon as her back is turned. I guess we get to play again, Hee-chan. You hardly ever play with us anymore. I wonder why. Oh, come on! Be nicer to them. That hurt, Hee-chan. I'd almost think you're insulting me. But it's Hee-chan, so I know that you're joking. Such a great sense of humor. Oh, come on. Wahahaha. Shisune seems excited for a second, a little surprised that I'm willing to challenge her, but when she sees Hanako coming back, she backs off with a smile. I guess the mind games are over early today. Hanako gently sets down her desk in front of Nisha's. Her eyes are locked downwards, then I'm left wondering why until I look around the class. What's her... Oh. Sorry, I am a bit low energy today. I don't know why. We all move to sort ourselves out, spreading our textbooks and worksheets around the larger surfaces created by the four joined desks. It isn't long before the class as a whole gets down to work. Hi, Hanako. It's nice to finally work with you. Yeah. Are you the reason Hee-chan has been avoiding us lately? Shi-chan says it's a little rude, but if Hee-chan wants to spend time with a cute girl, it's understandable. I don't think it's like that. Hanako starts to fidget, unused to this kind of attention. I think that an ordinary person would drop this conversation by now. But Misha is like the antithesis of Hanako. Part of this includes being blind to ordinary social cues, while Hanako is overly sensitive to them. Because of that, Misha barrels ahead with the questions, too quickly for me to get a chance to interject and guide the discussion to somewhere more comfortable. Really, so he's been hanging out with you? Oh, shit. No. I can feel my cover being blown already. Really, I wonder what was so important for Hee-chan to blow us off like that. It wasn't to spend time with Hanako, then what could it be? It's really interesting. Now, this is really starting to feel like an interrogation. Oh, God. Oh, lordy. Were you with Lily? Out of nowhere, Hanako manages to stumble on the answer. She may be dreadfully quiet and shy. Oh god, this mirror is dusty. It's because this mirror has a light on it. I think you guys don't know what I'm talking about. I have a third light here on the desk, and it's a mirror. But I usually angle the mirror upwards, and I gotta dust the mirror off. I usually angle the mirror upwards, so I can't use the mirror until I tilt it back down. Meaning the mirror is facing the sky. So, or the ceiling. The sky's blocked by the ceiling. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Because there is a band of... The light source comes from around the mirror. And if it's just pointing directly at me, it kind of hurts my eyes. So I usually tilt it upwards. So that I get illumination and brightness, but it's not like pointed at me. You know, you get what I'm saying, right? But dear God, the mirror gets dusty. So whenever I do need to use it... whatever. What makes you say that? Yesterday, Lily said something similar. Suspicious. Hee-chan, I demand that you explain yourself. Hey, shouldn't we be doing the assignment? But it's so mysterious, even Hanako wants to know. I turn to look for Hanako. It's true from the expression on her face. It's obvious that she wants to know as well. And I think we're past the point where I could weasel out. Of having to provide an explanation. I apologize to Lily in my mind. She really did want to keep it a secret, but now it doesn't seem possible anymore. I feel a rush of conflicting emotions, so jumbled that I can't readily identify them, but they crash around in my head as I try to calm down and speak. Alright, I'll tell you, I went to town with Lily, but it wasn't what you think. Lily and I were, for Hanako's birthday, cat is out of the bag. But Hanako seems to be taking it a little better than I thought she would. Yeah, you guys fucked up. A brief silence passes over a group as Shisune and Misha look at each other sheepishly. I can tell they didn't expect their game to turn out like this. Misha looks to Hanako in order to apologize. Is it just me or is this thing not flat? Because I've got my mouse on my armrest now. Misha looks up at Hanako in order to apologize, then pauses. Hanako is staring at the middle of her desk and barely moving, a maudlin expression on her face. I guess I was wrong about her taking it well. Hanako, I'm sorry. There's a few seconds pause, but Hanako lifts and shakes her head. It's okay. Expression looks solid, like she's very tired. That doesn't seem natural, but it's nothing alarming. Nobody really wants to continue with the current conversation, so we open her textbooks and begin the group work. Yeah. Oh, you think, Hiso, you think. Misha's expression. Misha's awesome. Misha, on the other hand, is scratching up her lips and visibly trying to make heads or tails of what we're doing. Hanako is looking on quietly, absorbing what we write and what I say. She usually has the same expression whenever the teacher speaks. It's a shame her attendance is so unreliable. With the way she takes in information, I think she'd do quite well in class if she actually followed through on the lessons regularly. I wonder if this is why Shisune seems so hard on her. Hey, Hanako, do you understand this? Misha looks to Hanako, but I suspect her hope is to find a comrade in ignorance than genuine help. Not really, I guess. I'm surprised how tense she is in answering. But she settles back down. She breathes out, and the way her upper body and head lowers reminded me of a deflating balloon. You okay? I could go over this bit if you want. Hanako shakes her head slightly, but then again, I don't think she needs an extra explanation, despite what she said. Misha quickly interjects, entirely oblivious, and I end up slowly going through how we ended up at one of the results, step by step. Times like this remind me that this kind of work may not be mechanical for everyone, but rather feels that way due to my grasping the subject. It's a satisfying feeling. As Misha brings her ball fist into an open hand in realization, I discover another nice feeling. My explanation got through to her, and she manages to work out the next equation by herself with a minimum of guidance. Throughout all this, Hanako is unusually unresponsive. She's normally very quiet, but I can see her eyes roving periodically over the landscape of the classroom in front of her, or anxiously moving her hands in some way, or shifting her shoulders periodically. Right now, these small movements that I've gotten used to are all missing. Right now these small movements that I've gotten used to seeing are all missing. Someone not moving at all is definitely weird. Even Misha can tell something is wrong. Hanako, are you sure you're okay? Yes. You sure? Fine. A little more strongly this time. When she turns away as she says it, it only makes me doubt her answer. Yet at the same time, I can tell she doesn't want to talk about it further. Having had already one awkward conversation today that I'm fully not over, I don't want to pursue the matter too much either. Settle back into her routine, debating over answers whether a doubt comes up, but as time goes on, I notice that Hanako isn't talking at all. It's frustrating, she had made so much progress. It makes me a little angry at Shizune and Misha for undoing the surprise Lily had wanted to keep secret so much. I know I'm at fault too, maybe I could have kept it under wraps somehow. Yeah. Hanako, you're being too quiet. You have to contribute too. Someday we might work on a bigger project, like one that's so big it's worth celebrating afterwards, like with ice cream or cake. If you tack like this, we won't take you long. I can tell they're trying to tease her to bring her out of her shell, but I don't think that kind of approach will work on Hanako. It'll just make her feel worse. Guys, don't tease her like that. Hee-chan, it's all in good fun. Hee-chan says she teases everyone anyway. They do back off though, with Misha moving away from the issue by asking a question again. On seeing how difficult the problem she is working on is, I don't know whether it was a skillful dodge or a mere coincidence. Probably both. It takes way more of her time than necessary because Shizune keeps disagreeing with me while I'm trying to explain to Misha, obviously in an attempt to make the situation less awkward, I'm sure, and Misha's quick to believe her over me, so quick in fact that she forgets to translate what Shizune is saying. Hey, the clock is kind of ticking down, we should speed up a little. Hee-chan, you sound a little like Shi-chan there. Because I looked at my watch? Jeez. Is that really all it takes? Time management. I'm suddenly the student council president. I look at Hanako's desk to see how she's doing and freeze. Our papers are covered in equations, but Hanako's is only halfway there. It seems like she hasn't written anything in the past 20 minutes. When I realize that, I want to kick myself for how dumb I've been. I should have known that someone as fragile as Hanako wasn't going to brush off what happened so easily, but I've been too eager to move on from an awkward situation to notice. She's been slowly shutting down for the half hour, and I had no clue. Her pen is still in her hand, but she doesn't slowly spin around like she usually does. There isn't a single movement from Hanako. Only the fact that she tries to inch away once she feels Shizune, Misha, and me looking at her tells me that she is even still conscious. We look away, and at least in my case, it's partly out of shame that it's gotten to this point. Though on the outside she has shut down completely, I know it's a completely different story on the inside. What kind of things could she be thinking about as she tries harder and harder to shrink into herself, as if willing she could somehow disappear? Everyone is looking at her now, stealing quick glances in between putting the finishing touches on their work. Misha attempts to ask her what's wrong, but that only makes the problem worse. If she weren't frozen to her seat, she would probably run out of the room right now. Oh, Misha's questions are loud enough, Misha! I knew you mean well, but Misha's questions are loud enough to be heard throughout the entire classroom, and it's for a second that I'm ready to snap at her, because I can only imagine how much worse it's making Hanako feel. Of course, if I were to do that, it would make the situation worse. I believe that Hanako had gotten stronger, and she has, but it wasn't enough, and I was too eager to believe it. Now she's terrified, alone in the middle of the classroom, and there's nothing I could do without drawing more attention to her. It's infuriating. Misha's worried, and even Shizune's biting her lip. None of us know how to deal with this situation, so I decide to call Muto. His judgment will probably be better than ours. Yeah. I look up and manage to catch his eye, silently motioning for him to come over. I wanted to make as little fuss about this as possible, since if there's anything that would make this worse, it's more attention being focused on her. I know Hanako can see everyone staring at our group, specifically at her, because they know that if there's a problem, it has to be her. Everyone knows her, and it's the first thing anyone's mind would leap to. Her reputation for being a truant has marked her as an unusual person, even an unusual Yamaku. Who knows how many times they've stared at her before. Maybe it's because she's seen the class staring at her so much that she fears their gaze like she does, cowering from them. The time it takes for Muto to walk over must feel like an eternity to Hanako, and she looks as if she is about to fall over. Muto begins to ask us what's wrong before catching himself as he sees Hanako. Did we upset her? Don't worry. Muto bends down and after calling Misha and looks intently at Hanako's face. Hi, Kizawa. Can I help you at all? His voice just hushed and gentle. Everyone is acting so differently with Hanako now in the whole classroom around Hanako now that the whole classroom has noticed something wrong about her. Hanako doesn't respond, so Muto gently rests a hand on her shoulder. Oh no! She starts shaking at his touch but won't even look up. Hanako continues to stare at the equations on her desk, vision so unfocused that I doubt she even sees them. She is worse than before. I remember that not even an hour ago she was able to talk to him almost normally. Muto grimaces a bit as he stands again, and now that his expression's changed, I can see he wasn't exactly unaffected by what happened earlier. Either. He takes a breath to steady himself before speaking in a very quiet voice. I'm a little impressed at how quickly he takes control of the situation. Is that it? Nothing's wrong then. Muto seems to say that to no one in particular. However, his words sound convincing enough that most of the people who are looking at Hanako now turn away, getting back to their work. He gives a quick glance to his left and right. Several people at the desks around us are still staring curiously, but other than that, we seem to have escaped attracting too much attention. Muto notices me doing the same to him and smiles a little in his usual stilted way. I think for Ikizawa's sake, it would be good to quite quickly take her somewhere away from others. Nakai, Hanamichi, can you please take Ikazawa out of the classroom? I'll keep everyone settled, so please don't worry about anything but her, okay? He looks at Misha to tell her to interpret her words for Shizune, but she's already finished her translation by the time he does so. It's remarkable how little thought she needs to sign, as she looks quite dazed otherwise. Nodding, Shizune and I stand and move to either side of Hanako. Muto steps back to allow us some room and talks to the table behind us as some people there have begun to mutter themselves about what's going on. We look at each other before lowering ourselves in unison, taking one arm around each of our shoulders and lifting. The two of us begin to walk at a slow pace to make sure we don't inadvertently hurt her. As much as we try to make this look normal, I'm quite sure there would be many more gazes on us if not for Muto's distraction. Eventually, thankfully, we reach the door and go through. Nobody's outside, so we walk down the hallway. It doesn't seem like it's making her more at ease than she was in the classroom. Frankly, I ask if she just wants to sit down. For a while, we simply stay in place and wait for her to say something. Shizune tentatively rubs Hanako's shoulder a little, but there's no response. Eventually, she shakes her head a little when Shizune tries again. Both of us are looking at her, so we pick up on it immediately. Shizune's hand again comes to rest on Hanako's shoulder as she awakens, her face lifting to two very worried and anxious people looking at her. She looked at us silently for a while. I'm initially worried she might do something, she might freak out or do something extreme, but those fears prove unwarranted as her expression slowly changes from an almost lifeless blank stare to a more normal withdrawn shyness. I need water. She wordlessly lowers her head, her eyes evasively moving to the side. She looks ashamed. She looks embarrassed, almost ashamed. I want to say something, anything, to help. I can't though. I don't really know what happened, or even what caused it. I feel helpless and ashamed of myself for not being of any use. Shizune sighs before looking at me. Even without words, I can tell what she's thinking. Asking, I'll take Hanako to the nurse. Is that okay by you? I try to communicate my intentions through hand gestures, but I don't feel like I managed to get through to her very well. Shizune makes a dreary face in response to my gesticulations, confirming my impression. She stabs her finger in the air decisively, first at me, then at Hanako, then towards the stairs. She waits for me to nod before pointing at herself, then pointing at the door to the classroom. I get the feeling Shizune is much better at this than I am. I nod at her, since her plan is, after all, the same as mine. Shizune gets ready to make her exit, but only after looking at Hanako for quite some time. Are you okay with me taking you to the nurse's office? Hanako doesn't say anything or nod, but she stands up in place by herself. And when I begin to walk, she obediently follows. I've read about people being catatonic before, but I think this is the first time I'm seeing it for myself. She looks extremely tired. After everything that's happened, it's not a surprise. After Hanako silently takes off her shoes and lies on the bed in the infirmary, the nurse and I take our leave. He shuts the curtains behind us. We both take a seat and I quietly and thoroughly go through everything that happened in quite some detail. I want to understand what happened, and the nurse has a good chance as anyone of knowing. He nods to my explanation, his face looking troubled as I finish. It must have been very troubling for you to have seen all this. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I get that she fainted, but I don't really understand anything about why it happened or why she's acting like this. He nods, but his face is clouded. You don't know either? Well, yes and no. It's complicated. I assume you've heard about the concept of patient confidentiality at some point. There's a bit of a minefield in that respect. I'm going to put this very bluntly. This is a matter for Ikazawa, me, and her therapist. I move to protest, but I think better of it. I want to deny what he says, but if I think through this rationally, what he says makes perfect sense. I understand. Good. I wish I could help you more, but I think what Ikazawa needs right now isn't for someone prying into her past or her emotions. She just needs somebody to be there for her. She needs a friend. Oopsies. Spilled some water. For what it's worth, I think you've done well in bringing her here. Sounds like you and your friends dealt with the situation well, too. I'd give you a lollipop or a sticker as a reward, but you might be a little too old for either. He gives a cocky grin. Obviously tried his best. I fucking love the nurse. He is such a badass. Obviously tried his best to lighten the atmosphere. I'm not really in a laughing mood, but he does manage to get a smile out of me. Thanks. Do you mind if I stay here with Hanako? I appreciate the thought, but I think it would be better to let her rest for now. She'll be back to the dormitory room this evening, so you can visit her then. I agree with him before standing. It feels like all I could ever do around the nurse is humbly agree to what he says, but it was the same way with the doctors in the hospital, too. The walk back to the classroom is a long one, my mind feeling heavy under the weight of so many things happening so suddenly. Even as I re-enter the classroom, I'm thinking about Hanako. My stomach feels like it's turning into knots while I think about how to deal with her. I still don't know what I'm going to say when I see her again. Thankfully, the class doesn't pay me much heed. There are a couple of questioning glances, but overall, not many people seem to be very aware of what happened. Muto raised his eyebrow to get my attention when I passed by his desk. Nakai, I take it Ikazawa's in the infirmary now? Yeah, I took her there and the nurse said I should let her rest. Muto nods, assuring me that I made the right call. He scratches his chin for a second before rising from his desk. Everyone, I want you to continue with the exercise. Nakai, I'll see you in the hallway, please. His speech is hushed, but overall he doesn't seem to be acting too different from how he usually does. Being a teacher, maybe it's to be expected. As we go down to the hallway, I notice him taking a quick glance left and right to check if there are any students milling about. The hallway is nearly soundless, but I can't think of anything except for waiting for Muto to speak. Nakai, what do you think the purpose of the school is? To cater to the needs of disabled students. Muto scratches his head as he shakes it. No, if we wanted to do that, we would have built a whole new school from scratch. One floor. Talking whiteboards. That kind of thing. Look around, Nakai. The school is about giving you a future that you would have denied in regular education. Huh? Think of it this way. If you wanted you to graduate and go straight into a hospital, do you think we put in this much effort? The bluntness of Muto's statement temporarily stuns me, causing me to forget about the immediate situation. No. That's right, we want you all to leave here as useful members of society. I'm not quite sure I'm following you. I have high hopes for you, Nakai. You're possibly the first student I've had that gets my lectures. That isn't something a teacher should be admitting so freely. You can easily take your studies at science school into university. Have you ever considered that? I can't say I have. Well, what have you considered for your future, that is? I can't say I put that much thought into my future. For a moment, I'm distinctly reminded of Lily questioning me about the same subject. It's only been a little over 5 months since I was gasping for air on the ground. It's too soon to be thinking about the future, and besides, Hanako's problems here seems much bigger to me right now. Muto gives a disapproving sigh before continuing. Think of this place as an opportunity. Here you have boundless facilities, good teachers, plus the added bonus of the nurse and his staff. You should be doing nothing but thinking of the future. Right. As I raise my head to meet his gaze, a sudden thought occurs to me. It's almost like Muto totally sidestepped the question at hand. Excuse me, but why didn't the staff seem to care when Hanako skips class? I've seen you walk out of the classroom more than once. Shouldn't you at least say something? Well, Nakai, it's not really that simple. Every student here has special needs. If it weren't for that, then we wouldn't have a school here. For example, I wouldn't keep you in class if you were having trouble breathing, would I? But that's not... Muto cuts me off before I could even think about finishing my sentence. Ikazawa's case is very much like that. But instead of CPR or pacemaker, what she needs is time and space. The faculty was made aware of this from the day she arrived here, thus whenever she needs to feel to leave classes, we let her do so. And even though she isn't a star pupil, she seems to pass all of her exams, so it hasn't affected her ability to study. Isn't that enough? I open my mouth to protest, but I can't seem to find a fault in his argument. While her condition does seem to at first be wholly physiological, its worst effects have been on her psyche. It still puts me off, though. Isn't he just passing on the responsibility for her problem? Surely she can't go on like this for her whole life. I understand you might not be used to this kind of thing yet. It's been a big change for you. That said, it's less than a year until graduation now. Oh dear God. Maybe you won't have to get used to this school. If you keep your head down, I'm sure you'll do well enough in your exams. I numbly nod, more to simply acknowledge that I'm listening than out of agreement. I feel like I was getting used to this school, but it feels like it's just been thrown back in my face. But what about Hanako? Well, I hope that she'll perform well enough to do what she wants to do. What is that? I don't know. Not all students leave the school with an idea of what they want to do, unfortunately. He takes care to emphasize the last word, unfortunately, as if it wasn't quite clear enough already, and gives me a moment to mull his words over. Today's been a troublesome day for you, and I doubt you'll be able to concentrate much anyway after all that's happened, so I'll allow you to take the rest of the day off. The grades have been good in this class so far, which makes me think you won't have any trouble catching up on what we've been doing. He gives a small smile along with his praise, as if to make up for the seriousness of his lecture just now. Go collect your things, and I'll see you tomorrow. Right, thank you. Muto's roundabout speech has left my thoughts scattered. I'm still not any closer to working out what I could do to help Hanako, if anything, and my mind is still all the more confused after what Muto said. I'm still bothered by the fact that Hanako was helped at least as much by Shizune, her enemy by proxy, as myself, but I don't know whether this is just male bravado or a genuine concern. I think you're looking too much into it, man. Did I say the same thing last time? While I could collect Hanako and my things from the class, I continue to try and sort out my feelings. I want to say that I understand her and that I'm there for her, but while I might have been able to say that just yesterday, I can't say it now. I wish I could. I lay on my bed, trying to collect my thoughts. After Hanako's panic attack, I've been fundamentally reassessing the relationship we share and what I know about her. I had a hard enough time dealing with 4 months in the hospital. One look at her scar tells me that she was in one for a lot longer than I was. Be that as it may, I know next to nothing about her past. She has told me about the house fire, but only the most basic way. And what of her family? I still haven't asked Lily about them. There hasn't been a good opportunity to bring it up. Lips are getting dry. And what of her family? I still haven't asked Lily about them. There hasn't been a good opportunity to bring it up. I don't know where she grew up or what her old school is like, nor of her past friends, her wishes and ambitions, not even her taste in music, food, and movies, all the little things that I knew about all of my old friends. Just what have I been doing for all this time I've been with her and Lily? In the distance, I hear the bell signaling the end of classes. With any luck, Lily will soon realize that neither Hanako nor I are around and return to the dormitories. My mobile phone starts to ring, cutting my thinking short. It quite startles me, as I've rarely been called since coming to Yamako. Hello, Hisao Nakai speaking. Oh, hello, Hisao. I'm glad I found you. You weren't at any of our usual places, so I thought this would be the fastest way to contact you. I probably should have guessed it would be Lily, as she's one of the few people I've given my number to. Even through the phone, her voice sounds slightly on edge. Hanako and I left class early. She had some kind of panic attack. The line goes silent. If it weren't for the background static, I would have thought Lily had hung up on me. I understand. Could you come by my room? I'd like to talk with you. Sure, I'd appreciate the chance to have a bit of a talk, actually. Good. I also have some bad news. I think we should discuss this in person. It's hard to grasp the seriousness of the situation from Lily's tone. She sounds so calm most of the time, but that could be a good or bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Okay, I'll be right there. I collect Hanako's school things from my desk and head straight for Lily's room. I rap my knuckles on her door, and she soon calls me in. Lily sits at the table inside of her room, looking a little worse for wear. I guess it's because of the bad news. Following her gesture of invitation, I sit across from her and lay Hanako's things on the table. Well, there's no point in either of us waiting. Would you mind going first, Hisa? What happened today? My memory of the incident is beginning to fade, but I explain it as best as I can to Lily. Inviting Hanako to work with the group, Shizune and Misha's questioning our foray into the town getting discovered and subsequent panic attack. I had Shizune's reaction almost as an afterthought, but Lily seems to take some kind of comfort in hearing about it. I guess rivals don't become rivals for no reason. There must be some kind of history there, but now isn't the time to explore it. I see. She said she had her therapist. She had said her therapist sessions were helping, but I had my doubts. It's quite a shame. Her birthday caused problems before, but I'd hoped that she would have improved with you around and the more intensive therapy. Where's Hanako now? Last time I saw her, she was in the infirmary. I guess she's gone back to her room by now. She was in the library in the tea room when I checked, so I can only assume that too. You said you had some bad news. What's the matter? Does it concern Hanako? Lily shifts her position, her body's way of saying she's searching for the right words. My aunt has fallen gravely ill. I'm afraid I'm going to be heading back to Scotland to visit her and spend some time with my family. What? Is she alright? When do you leave? I'm not altogether sure of exactly how she's faring at the moment, though the last I heard she was stable. I'll be leaving Saturday. That's the earliest flight I can get. Stable. That's code for needs to stay in the hospital. I've been stable long enough to know that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is in good condition, but merely treading water. On the upside, stable is much better than critical condition. At least she's not on the brink of death. Stable, that's a relief. Yes, but this means that I won't be here for Hanako's birthday. I wanted to tell you now so that we could think of something before we told Hanako, but after today's events, I'm not even sure if there's going to be an issue if we simply cancel the party. I don't think that's such a good idea. Yeah. That's one relief at least. With that in mind, what do you suggest then? Given the circumstances, I don't think karaoke is really appropriate. Yeah. You're not going to go away for the greatest of reasons, so having too much fun would feel wrong. What did you do for her birthday last year? Last year, I literally couldn't get her out of the room. She blocked the door. All I could do was leave food outside for her, making sure that she was at least eating well. This is perhaps the most depressed I've ever seen her and heard Lily act. I feel sorry for her, given how defeated she must be, unable to help her closest friend. Perhaps it would be better to throw the party before you leave then. It does sound like it would be the easiest option. I think we should at least tell Hanako both about your trip and her party. Everything's from class as well. That's a good point. Should we go and visit her now? I think that would be a good idea. Part of me is dying to see Hanako. The last time I saw her, she looked like death walking, and these last few hours have torn me apart just thinking about that. We quietly get up and file out of Lily's room. Hanako's room is next door in the same hallway. Knocking lightly gets us no response, but the door proves to be unlocked. Lily pauses for a moment as the handle unexpectedly moves under her hand, before opening the door. Hanako's room is startlingly bare and monotone. There are no decorations on the plain white walls, a plain dark blue blanket, and only a few books, papers, and purely utilitarian items on the shelves. Even her bedsheets are monochrome. The entire room feels as subdued as Hanako's character. Hanako! Hanako herself is laying curled up on her bed. She may not be crying now, but her eyes are closed tightly to stop herself, and the tracks left by her tears still sit on her reddened cheeks. I quietly walk in and set her back down on her desk, afraid of startling her too much. Ugh. Hello, Hanako. Hisao told me about what happened today. Are you alright? Hanako's eyes open, though only a little. I'm okay. She tilts her head slightly to look at me, noticing my grimacing before I can hide it. Sorry for making you worry. Really, I'm fine now. She doesn't look nor sound okay, though at least she seems more calm than she was before. She still looks as if the slightest breath could emotionally break her. I said it before, right? You don't need to be sorry for this. Hisao's right. I shouldn't have hidden something like a birthday celebration for you. I see Hanako shiver at the word. Lily picks up on the silence that follows and crouches down to Hanako's level. I'm the one that should be sorry, Hanako. Hanako's eyes open to peer at Lily. She looks at Lily for some time, taking in her face with those dark, analytical eyes of hers. Lily must have made the right impression on her, as Hanako recovers enough to prop herself up on the bed and shifts to sitting on its side. Hanako worries about many things, but troubling others is foremost among them. Hearing Hanako shuffling, Lily moves forward and feels out the side of the bed, eventually taking a seat beside her and taking Hanako's left hand in both of hers. The feeling of me being out of place when the two are together has lessened the time that we've known each other, but it's still occasionally much there. This is one of those times, I think. Lily, if you want me to go... I don't want that. Lily and I are both surprised at Hanako mustering her courage. A half-mumbled okay is all I can give her in reply, and I take her desk chair to sit in. Hanako, I'm afraid I have some bad news. So Lily's gonna break the news now, with Hanako having affirmed our relationship so clearly. Perhaps Lily thought the timing was good, or at least as good as it will ever be. Probably the latter. My aunt has fallen ill, so I need to return to my family for a time. Concern replaces Hanako's remorseful expression. Your family, you mean Scotland, right? That's right. Akira and I will be leaving Saturday. So you're going away? I won't be gone, probably only for a week or two. I'll be back before you know it, and Hisao will be here, right? That's right. I'm not going anywhere. Oh dear God, my face is so... I'm just like leaning close to the computer, but like whenever I do that, this is what you see me as. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna... Hold on. That's right. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Hanako seems to take only minor comfort in this, but she does manage to summon some resolve from somewhere inside of her. Is your aunt going to be alright? I'm not sure. Sounds false. It's depressing that the thing that truly brings Hanako out of her rut is another's misfortune. I decided to bring up the other matter that brought us here, to distract at least in part from the dismal feeling permeating the room. Anyway, we were thinking that it would be a good idea to have a going-away party for Lily, since it could double as... yeah. I cut myself off before mentioning her birthday. That seems to be a trigger for such fierce emotions within her. Lily gives Hanako's hand a gentle squeeze. Is that alright by you, Hanako? It won't be lavish or overdone. Just something small in my room. So just in the school, just us. That's right, just 3 of us. If you like, I could ask Akira to come as well. Okay, you're only going for a week. 1 week or 2, yes. I promise you it won't be any longer. Okay. Most people would be upset about hearing a family member's falling ill and happy at having a party, but with Hanako, it seems that both events are on the same level. Alright then, you look like you need a rest, Hanako, so it might be best if we all went back to our rooms for now. You know that if you ever want anything, you could always talk to me or Hisao, right? Lily's voice is pensive, an unusual edge for someone as confident as she. I understand. Thank you, Lily, Hisao. Well then, good night, Hanako. Night. I let out a long breath after the door closes behind us. It feels a little like I've been deep underwater, and only now I've been able to come up for air. Lily doesn't seem to be doing well either. She looks pale and drawn. Are you alright? I'm just a little tired. It's been hectic recently. Have you slept at all? A little tired sounds like an understatement given how you look. I think I managed to get a couple hours of sleep before class. I'll be okay. I feel bad about pressing Lily right now. I think both of us are pretty tired from everything that's happened as well. I think you should get some rest. It's been a big day and staying up isn't good for your complexion. Thank you for your concern, Hisao. Good night, then. Okay. Night, Lily. I leave Lily in the hallway as she opens the door to her room and begin to make my way to my own. As I walk down the quiet hallway, I can't get that image of Hanako out of my mind. Huddled and pitiable, lying helpless with tears on her cheeks, I begin to think that she was just a normal, if extremely shy person, but her problems run much deeper. Trying to take our relationship further than what we share right now when she's so fragile and vulnerable wouldn't be right. I don't need to be more than her friend in order to protect her, to try and stop anything like this from ever happening again. The possibility of my feelings for her goes beyond that, or going beyond that, that doesn't matter anymore. Hanako's precious to me, and that's why I can't take advantage of her. But even so, that's the thing, there's a sting I feel when I think that way. For now, I need some sleep. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be a better day. Hanako's more noticeable in her absence than when she is in the room. I feel like her empty desk calling out for me. I find myself peering over my shoulder endlessly, hoping that I'm hallucinating and that Hanako will magically appear. She makes sure she's as small a presence as possible when she attends class. Though she has been getting better recently, that fact never changed. Nobody pays her any heed in class, and now that she's not here, they just don't notice her absence. It's as if she just never existed. Lily did say that her skipping class wasn't an unusual thing before I met her, but it's still very off-putting. The bells heralding the end of school makes me jump in my seat. It's only now that I notice Misha's prodding me in the side with her mechanical pencil to get my attention. Hello, is anybody there? Hey, stop that. Ah, there we are. Welcome back to Earth, Hee-chan. What are you talking about? You keep gazing off into space. I was thinking that you might be trying to contact alien life. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I don't doubt Misha's words. I'm not sure whether it was due to my medicine side effects, Hanako's panic attack yesterday, me worrying about her in general, or all three. As I said earlier, I think the first time I went over this, probably all three. I yawned entirely before resting my chin in my palm, having been reminded of how badly I slept. Hey, are you really alright? Yesterday kind of rattled me as well. Yeah, I guess. I wanted to speak to Hanako again, though. Did you see her last night? Yeah, Lily and I talked to her. This might sound weird, but can you tell Shizune thank you? From both me and Lily. I know Lily technically didn't thank Shizune, but I could tell by her reaction last night she wanted to. At least that's how it works out in my head. I think what Shi-chan is trying to say is, you're welcome. The furious signing and Shizune's reddened cheeks tell me that what she said was entirely different. Her blatantly flushed expression is amusing enough to make me chuckle. What's so funny, Hee-chan? Was it something we said? No, that's not it. I was just simply thinking about how cute Shi-chan can be at times. Wahaha, you're right. Shi-chan is really cute and she tries not to be. Yeah. I noticed that Misha decides not to sign her response to Shizune. Maybe Shizune's rage is enough of a counter to any quantity of cute. Nevertheless, Shizune quickly calms down and signs something else to Misha. I'm curious about the Shizune route now. We'll get through all routes eventually. Oh, okay, Hee-chan. Shi-chan wants you to come in and have dinner with us. Dinner, eh? Turning away from them a bit, lest I be played by their fleeting smells, I begin to mull it over. The invitation certainly is tempting. A takeaway dinner with two cute girls is not a bad thing after all. The thought of Hanako locked up in her room, though, keeps dancing on the edge of my mind. Sorry, I'll have to pass. Aww. Misha doesn't sign my response, but Shizune picks up on it easy enough and grimaces in disappointment. She moves her arms, assuredly beginning some form of either protest or coercion, but stops herself and taps Misha on the shoulder twice. Once Misha gives Shizune her attention, the only statement Shizune has on the matter is a shrug. Oh well, it's your choice, Hee-chan. Oh no, they look so sad. I'll promise I'll join you to another time if that helps. Misha perks up at this, but Shizune doesn't share her reaction. With the flick of this head to signal for Misha to follow her away, Shizune simply raises her head to silently wave me goodbye. As the two makes their way out of the door, I return the gesture until they're out of sight. I don't think they'd be so disappointed. It makes me feel a little bad for ditching them. Still, I have things to do. The girls' dormitory is especially rowdy today, with a number of girls loudly playing games and watching the television in the common room on the first floor. I hear their voices even now, standing in front of Hanako's door. It's not a contrast to see the emptiness of the floor she's on. The voices from below make the emptiness feel all the more lonely. I had hopes Hanako would be in class today, especially after the talk Lily and I had with her last night. It feels like I shouldn't hold it against her. It was a pretty awful episode, and to have experienced it firsthand must be all the worse. Not knowing what state she's in, I take a small breath before giving a few sharp knocks on her brown door. All I could do is stand and wait, doing my best not to feel anxious. As the seconds run, I begin to think that she might be asleep and didn't hear me knocking. The door rattles a little before I can raise my hand to knock again, though. The door opens a sliver, an eye appearing in the gap, only just large enough for it to peer through. I'm sure this girl would install a peephole on her dormitory door, if only such a thing were allowed. I just stand and smile at her. I don't think words would really help here after all. The actors returned in kind, with Hanako wordlessly looking at me. The gap's not wide enough to see her expression, and I can only guess what she's thinking. Time passes as we look at each other, the only sound being the disembodied gaiety from the ground floor. I'm not sure how long it takes, but eventually the eye moves away. I keep wondering whether she'll let me in or shut me out, until the door slowly begins to creak open. Now that I have a full view of her and the bedroom behind, the first thing I notice is that Hanako's hair is quite damp. She's recently showered, which makes it even more obvious by the scent of shampoo wafting towards me. The look on her face seems to be one of curiosity, as if she's really not sure what to make of me. Even so, I'm really not all that sure of what she's thinking. Feels as though she's gone away for a long time, and having now returned, neither of us know what to say to the other. Hanako realizes that she's staring, looking away awkwardly before turning to the side and gazing at her feet. I sigh to take it as an invitation and step past her into the room, closing the door behind me as I do so. I can see her hands, yeah. The scent addles my sense. The scent from her addles my senses. Aww. Because, why did I come here? I was worried about Hanako, so I came to her room. She let me in as I'd hoped, then what? What did I mean to do? What did I mean to say? Why didn't I think this through before coming here? I want to make up for what I feel I caused, at least partly. I want to try and remove the distance between us since then, and I want to see her happy. How could I do that when I don't know the first thing about her? I wonder if this is how Iwanako felt when she saw me lying in that sterile pastel blue hospital bed. A deep sigh steadies my nerves a little and ends my stammering. I don't think I've ever felt this nervous around someone before. When I'm like this, I don't think I could lie, even if I could bring myself to. Hanako would see through it right away. I don't know, I just wanted to see you, I guess. Her fingers stop moving, giving me a little surprise. Looking up to her face, she gives a sweet smile and nod. That was a satisfactory answer for her. Since you're here, I'd like to play a game of chess with you. I almost hang my head in disbelief that is all she wants to do. After I've been whining myself so much, is to play a game. Looking at her face, though, a tentative smile perched upon it, I realize that this is more than that. She could have not bothered answering the door. She could have shut it as soon as she saw my face. She could have asked me to leave. She could have rejected me at many points, but she didn't. Now with this calm face, she wants me to play the same game that we've played when we first really spent time together. When we really spent time alone together. This feeling of relief washes over me. Everything will be alright. Hanako's let me into her world. As long as we can be together like this, I think everything will be alright. It will be my pleasure. Oh! Whoa! Oh. Sorry if I'm a little breathy and near the mic. It's because I'm tired. And if I'm speaking at like a less powerful voice, the problem is if I'm speaking at like a less powerful voice, it might be hard to hear over the volume. And if I could turn this up technically, but then I'm a little worried other shit's gonna get captured. Like me rapping against the desk, for instance. Or I'm just physically pushing the mic, that's why. The day of Hanako's birthday party is finally here. To be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing both Hanako and Lily in their pajamas again. I get you, buddy. Hanako's gown has grown on me as looking rather cute, though a bit conservative, and Lily's shorts and silken tops are a lovely combination. So yeah, I'm just close to the mic because I am tired. But the event is stained a little with the memory of Hanako's reaction to it. I still don't really understand what happened, only being able to vaguely guess at the possible reasons for it, but I don't think finding the answer will be as straightforward as asking her. With that in mind, I knock on the door next to Hanako's. Is that you, Hisao? Yeah, it's me. I hear the pitter-patter of footsteps coming to the door, followed by the sound of the lock snapping open. I don't think I've ever seen Lily's door locked before. It makes me a little suspicious. What, got dirty thoughts, Hisao? Once the door was open, the sight is a little underwhelming for a birthday party. Same sprite, same sprite. Hanako returns to her seat at the table with a quick smile and a nod, leaving me to close, and assuming they wanted it to be kept that way, lock the door. As I do, I realize that the scene before me is that of an evening party, just like any other between the two. Somehow, I don't think I should be surprised. To my relief, Hanako looks relatively calm. The break from her class probably has done her good and given her time to wind down a bit. I take a seat between the two at a low table at the center of Lily's room, the brightly colored teaspots steaming away between us. A tall brown bag close by Lily's side catches my attention. I covertly try to glance inside it a couple times, but I can't get a good look from here. Looking to Hanako, it seems like she's curious about it as I am. Hey, Lily? Lily finishes a teacup, raised her lips for setting it down and giving me her attention. Yes? I was just wondering about that brown bag. He pauses for a moment and gives a slightly cheeky smile. That will be Akira's present. Unfortunately, she said she was working and can't join us. Sorry, we are out of water. Lily leans over and feels out the item before raising her arm. I raise my arm around the two items. The glass snacks are grasped by Lily on either side of the middle finger. So this is why she had her door locked. Wine. There are two small thuds as the bottles are brought to rest on the table. One red, one white. I want to believe it's fake or non-alcoholic wine, but if there was, there wouldn't be this need to be circumspect. Yes, I believe we all remember the wine scene. Sorry. Alcohol? Seriously? Are you sure this is a good idea? Well, it was Akira's idea, technically. Lily smiles politely and giggles. I'm not really convinced that she is. These would be the presents from my sister. I know it's a bit questionable, but a little shouldn't hurt. If Lily took serious issue with it, I don't think she would have agreed quite so easily. Sorry. That aside, I Lily squared as a serious and responsible type, maybe like an older Lily, but it looks like I was wrong. We aren't even legally able to drink yet. Well, in that case, I won't complain. They don't look bad either. I'm no connoisseur, but at least the bottles look nice. Apart from a surreptitious glass of wine or two given from my father at family dinners, I haven't really had it enough to know what's what. That, and I can't say I'm a total straight edge. By Hanako's expression, she's thinking the same, and it's her birthday anyway. Shall I open one? Sure, can I? Sure, I'll get some. My heart skips a beat as I hear 3 sharp bangs coming from Lily's door. Hanako's head flicks around, and Lily's eyes close as she listens intently. None of us want to be busted for this. Who is it? Let me in, I'm cold. Akira! Lily lets out a resigned sigh before motioning for Hanako to open the door. She obediently gets up and fusses with her gown before moving, apparently still not quite sure if it is, but still trusting enough in Lily to do as she requests. I could see a blonde, dark-suited figure become visible over Hanako's shoulder as she opens the door. Happy birthday, Hanako. Thank you, Akira. Hanako gives a small bow while twiddling her fingers in front of her, so this is Lily's elusive sister. Akira follows Hanako to the table after shutting the door behind her, giving me plenty of time to have a good look at her. She looks to be at the same height as Hanako, and has short blonde hair that's quite roughly cut. There is, in addition to her modest breasts. Of course, that's what you take. Of course, you notice that. Masculine suit and deep voice gives her quite an androgynous effect. Without further ado, she plops herself down on the side of the table across from me. It's nice to have your company after all, Akira. Did work let you off? Yup, I have to go back there in a bit, but I managed to get enough of a break to drive down. So, this would be Hisao then. A confident smile gets thrown in my direction, so I nod politely in return. Considering that she just jumped straight to using my first name, she's much more informal than her appearance would suggest. Wait, if she already knows who I am, that must mean that Lily's talked about me with her. I wonder what she said. Sorry for not introducing you, Hisao. This is Akira Sato, my elder sister. Nice. I see. Nice to meet you. The person in question loudly claps her hands together, making Hanako jump a little bit. Akira notices this and looks uneasy for a fraction of a second. There's a plane flying above my house. Akira notices it and looks uneasy for a fraction of a second before getting back into her stride. Only now do I realize that Akira hasn't paid Hanako's scars any undue attention. Hanako also seems comfortable, if not exactly relaxed, around Akira. Well then, I assume the presents got through. No point in waiting, considering Hisao and the birthday girl look like they're pretty eager. Aww. Lily giggles as I awkwardly turn away, a little embarrassed by the fact that I couldn't hide my interest. Hanako's eyes are telling me that she wants to try the wine together with me though, so I settle for the look of badly feigned indifference. Akira manages to uncork the first bottle with small effort, and Hanako goes to get some glasses before I get to pour her the 4 of them full of white wine. Yeah. I looked it up, it's true. Well, I'll talk about that later. Here's to Hanako and to Lily's trip. Cheers. Cheers. After the traditional raising of glasses, we all take a sip of the pale yellow liquid. It's something like the stuff I've had with my parents, What is the stuff you've had with your parents anyways? With the fruitiness of the flavor almost entirely hiding the taste of alcohol. Maybe this is what proper wine is supposed to taste like. Then again, it's possible that Akira just chose a wine which will be suited to our taste since none of us are used to alcohol yet. I want to get more water. Since I am out. Give me a sec, folks. Oh, dear. Okay. What? Oh, hello. We've got a second viewer. How embarrassing that you had to come in at the exact moment. Okay, I am back. Maybe this is what proper wine is supposed to taste like. Then again, it's possible that Akira just chose a wine that will be suited for taste since none of us are used to alcohol yet. But at the very least, I hope none of us are. Yes, hello, second person. Oh, that's good. Welcome to the stream. We are doing Hanako's route of Katawa Shoujo. This isn't too bad. I was expecting something harsher. If you hadn't liked it, I have a few other varieties that you could have chosen from. You sound like you know your stuff when it comes to wines. Only a bit. I'm more of a beer kind of person. I have the drinking side down pat, though. As if to prove a point, she refills her glass before bringing it to her lips and flicking her head back. Hanako and I slowly watch as a whole glass disappears down Akira's throat. I can't decide whether to be impressed or put off, but I certainly don't have any urge to imitate the act. Blah. I don't know why. I had a not brain fart. What's the right word? Lily grimaces at the sight of her sister's boast. I know she is sipping from her glass as she does so, though. Anyways, now that Akira's gift has been opened and sampled, shall we move on to ours? Gifts? That's right, we got you your presents. It's your birthday, after all. This is from me. Lily pulls out the carefully wrapped doll from under the table and passes it to Hanako. Hanako handles the present as if it were glassware, carefully turning it over to remove the tape that binds the wrapping. Eventually, the paper falls from the doll, revealing the emerald green of the doll's dress. It's beautiful. I'm not sure what reaction I was expecting from Hanako. The near total lack of dolls in her room made me think she didn't care about them, but the look in her eyes now is something different. She turns the doll around with the same delicacy she afforded the wrappings, as if she was expecting it to fall apart in her hands. I'm glad that you like it. Hisao picked it out, to be honest. Hanako suddenly remembers that she is not alone in the room and shifts her focus from the doll. Yes, I like it. Thank you, Lily and Hisao. Actually, I got you something else. I reach into the bag and remove the wrapped chess set. Here, happy birthday. Hanako carefully sits Lily's doll next to her and opens the present with the same care as she showed Lily's. Before long, the checkered squares of the chessboard are visible, and Hanako runs her fingers through the carved surfaces. Yes, and we get to play chess on this! Isn't this, I have a feeling, there's actually a good chance that, this might be the very chess set Hanako and I play. Hanako and I play with each other. What do you call it? Hanako and I might have played on this specifically. You guys get what I'm saying? For long, the checkered squares of the chessboard are visible, and Hanako gently runs her fingers across the carved surfaces. Oh! Almost by accident, she triggers the catch to the lid, startling herself in the process. She opens it and retrieves one of the gray pieces. She seems absorbed in the chess pieces as she was in the doll before. They're coral, natural coral, undyed, or so I'm told. Thank you, Hisao. No problem, it's your birthday after all. That's right, my birthday. Once again, Hanako's reaction seems a little off, but she carefully closes the board lid. I notice Akira's smile beginning to look very strange. I wonder if she knows anything about what's happening in class, given that she was treading on eggshells around Hanako. I'll have to play with you again sometime. I'll make sure I'll play you first. Aww. Aww. She takes a doll she received from Lily and holds it to her chest together with a small chessboard, putting the piece on top. Oh, I feel suddenly so energized. Oh, this cheers me up. Oh, heartwarming. Oh, hold on. Jesus Christ, it's hot in here. Let me close the shutter. I feel like the room's heating up because all this light's getting in. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but you know. She takes a doll she received from Lily and holds it to her chest together with a small chessboard, putting the piece on top. The act seems to settle her down somewhat, and we sit in silence for a while. I think it's one of the few times I've seen her genuinely happy, cradling the friendship of two people to her chest as tightly as she can. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Hisao. In the process of thanking us, Hanako drops the chess piece and fumbles a bit in her rush to retrieve it. Akira's mouth. Once she finds it, Hanako puts the chess piece down and nervously gulps at her wine. It's as if the real world suddenly... It's as if the real world suddenly rushed back into her consciousness, and her fastest escape from it was in a glass. As I've said earlier, don't become an alcoholic, Hanako. Hey, easy there, you shouldn't drink it that fast. It is a party, Hisao. Despite saying this, there's a slightly concerned edge to her voice. Eventually acquiescing, Lily proceeds to follow Hanako's lead, though not as eagerly. She seems to be taking small... we have seen this, though, haven't we? I'm a little impressed. I know we've seen this, I just want to go over it again. My goal, I guess, today is just to get through the parts we've seen. It'll all be fine in the end, Lily, don't worry about it. Since the room's mood has become noticeably more sullen, I decide to try and move things along. Well then, shall we start on the cake? My tentative suggestion has the intended effect, everyone lighting up considerably. Yes, please. Cake? I didn't know there was any cake. I picked one up before I came, along with some snacks. Well done, Hisao. At least one of us remembered to bring one. Everyone seems to welcome the distraction, so I retrieve the cake from my bag and start cutting it up. Mixing wine and chocolate cake isn't something that I thought would work out well, but none of us seem to mind. Conversation is temporarily suspended as we start to eat. I was initially wary of this idea. After Hanako's panic attack, I expect the worst from tonight, but I think Lily's idea of giving her good memories of her birthday is working. That and also having started it with her going away party. From Hanako's reactions to her gifts, I could tell she was genuinely appreciative. She was really appreciative. Hanako tries to pour herself another glass of wine, but she ends up spilling some on the table. She's had a couple by now, so considering that she's never had alcohol before, it's no wonder that she's feeling a little lightheaded. Sorry, Lily, I didn't mean to make a mess. Don't worry, I've got it. Aww. Lily reaches sideways and takes the fussy Hanako in her arms, giving me pause. It's okay, Hanako, I'm just happy you're here. Hanako gives Lily only a faint nod in response. It's fitting. I suppose that Lily would have been the one to support her like this. I have no idea what Hanako would be like if she hadn't. Seeing the two like this makes me appreciate the fact that I'm privy to such an intimate moment. Even Akira can't help but smile at the sight. Never would have thought I'd manage to find new friends so quickly. And I'm all the more thankful that of all people, these two are the two I've befriended. They slowly break off from one another, Hanako regaining herself somewhat, while I quickly get myself back on task. I find a towel amongst Lily's set, and start mopping up the spillage. By the time I finish, however, Hanako and Lily have managed to uncork the other bottle, and have topped off their glasses, of course. Looks like you'll be enjoying the wine then. Just don't go too crazy with it after this, mind. Y'all dutifully nod and agree. But a reminder feels a little silly given the one that she's the one supplying underage people with alcohol. The second wine goes down a lot quicker than the first, and before any of us notice, the second bottle is empty. With Akira's helping us finishing them off, Hanako looks to be almost equaling her in the amount she's had. My head feels a little tight, but I think I've managed to gauge my own tolerance. My head feels a little light, but I think I've managed to gauge my own tolerance surprisingly well. Hanako smiles lazily, toying with her doll's hair. I think it's a pretty safe bet that she hasn't moderated herself as well as I. I don't think it was Hanako's intention to get this drunk, but it seems that the alcohol hit her all at once. She has a very light frame, something which wouldn't help her handle her booze well either. Lily cradles her glass, running a finger around the rim. Her cheeks are rosy, but she's managing to avoid looking woefully drunk. Akira is, as I somewhat expected, largely unaffected. Her smile might be a little wider than before, though. Maybe. Hanako suddenly hiccups and accidentally knocks over the doll. I think I should maybe go to bed. Thank you, Hisao. Thanks, Lily. And Akira. She slurs Akira's name. She slurs Akira's name pretty hard. Barely avoiding breaking out into a giggle midway through. She's completely plastered, and I can't decide whether I should feel a little bad or not for being amused at the state she's in. It is really bizarre to seeing her act so carefree. It's a shame that it's only with the help of alcohol. Here, let me give you a hand. Akira begins to help Hanako out, but she's stopped when Lily gives a sharp cough. Hisa, would you please? Akira looks a little surprised, and I have to admit that I am as well. I don't mind the request at all, let alone when it's said with such a smile. It just comes rather unexpectedly. Sure, no problem. I pick up the chess set and help Hanako stand up. I do feel somewhat responsible for her, considering that, other than Akira, I'm probably the most sober person in the room. She nurses a doll in the other hand and offers me the other. We stumble out of the door, into the hallway, and into Hanako's room. Hanako bumping into me a number of times on the way. Inside the room, I flick down her light as Hanako turns her attention towards a shelf inside of her dresser. An elegant doll sitting on it, staring into the bare room. There you go, you'll be safe in here. Hanako Oh, wait. Hanako gingerly places the doll next to the other one and straightens its dress. They sit in silence, hair and clothes perfectly arranged. Just like the teapot in Lily's room, they serve as a distinct contrast to the dull whites and grays that permeate her bedroom. Satisfied with the dolls, her only two real possessions are safe, Hanako takes a step back and stands up, staggering severely. I manage to step forward to catch her if need be, but she regains her balance without my help. For a while, both of us stand in silence as Hanako looks downward and towards the cupboard. After a minute or two, she begins to sway a little from side to side. It's very off-putting. Are you going to be alright? Hanako raises her head and turns to me as if she's only remembered that I'm also in the room. What's unexpected is that she takes 2 steps towards me and wraps her arms around my body, her head coming to rest against my chest. Oh, I could feel... Wait, oh, actually, I remember saying this previously. Isn't drinking bad for your heart? I don't know. I don't know the scientific details. Like, I just assume it wouldn't be very healthy. The scent of wine on her breath, the feeling of her fingers through my clothing, the scent of her hair underneath my chin. Yeah. Yeah. Hanako. But I want to stay with you and Lily. Hanako's slurring reminds me a bit of Misha. She probably wouldn't be pleased to hear that. I know I can't. You're a girl and I'm a guy, and after all, Lily needs to sleep. She gives a disappointed groan. It's so strange for her to act so forward. Don't worry, I'll see you again tomorrow, okay? Saito rests a hand on her head to reassure her, deciding that this is as far as I'll allow myself to go in terms of physical contact with her while she's in this state. Hanako's head nuzzles against my chest. It makes me feel all the more uneasy with the situation, and as her arms tighten around my back, I quickly decide to bail out. I don't want you to go. Hanako, please. Akira and Lily are gonna start thinking weird stuff if I take too long in here. Perfectly true, too. Yeah, I should try to... Yeah... No, she has a crush on you. Yep. Hanako hiccups again, looking a right mess as she stands up and looks downcast at the center of the room. Drinking does that to people. Was she just acting upbeat to make sure we didn't have to worry? Yeah... Sorry about tonight, Hanako. I probably... Damn. Yeah. Right. Kira's casually smiling, as is Lily. I welcome the change from the mood to Hanako's room. Is that you, Hisao? Good. That's good. I have to admit, I hadn't thought she'd drink quite so much. Hey, it's fine. She's all safe and tuckered up in bed now, with the way she is. Yeah. Aw, don't be Hisao. Looking at Lily, I think back to what I asked myself in town, my relationship with her as a friend, and I've only felt that way. But I think I know why. Yeah. Say, Akira. She yawns before looking at me. It is getting pretty late. What's the time? Yeah, Lily told me. I negotiated pretty hard for a break so I could come down and help her birthday a bit brighter. We get along pretty well. Someone to hear that such for someone as extrovert as her, but if Hanako came to know her through Lily, maybe she had time to get used to Akira. And on that note, I better get going. I'm going to be a bit late as is. But it's already so late. Sorry, I got a bunch of work dropped on us, so overtime it is. God, that sounds awful. You haven't forgotten about the time for the flight and all the rest? Don't worry, I have everything ready. It's just a matter of packing when it gets closer to the time to leave. Alright, girl. I'll see you guys later, then. Yeah. I probably should have thought my comment before saying it. Regardless, Lily seems quite amused at my appraisal. You okay after all that drinking? Not wasted it, just hiding it well? I assure you I am quite alright. I can moderate myself. You seem quite self-possessed as well, if I do say so myself. Yeah, well, I guess your moderation applies to me as well. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me, do you have anything planned for Friday evening? Friday evening? No. Speaking of planes, there's another one flying over my head. I mean, to be fair, you could sleep on the plane, first off. And second off, it's like, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I fly pretty frequently, but I've never found them that tiring, personally. I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't really know, but I've never found it that tiring, like, realistically. I mean, maybe it's different for others, but I mean, well, let me think about it a little. I mean, to be fair, Hisao did say he hasn't flown all that much. Actually, let me sort of think. Maybe. I mean, maybe. The thought of how she's going to be tomorrow makes me grimace. Maybe you should count our blessings that she doesn't simply end up throwing up from drinking so much while having such a low tolerance. Well, I'm going to be able to attend whatever you're planning. What is it? Nothing unusual, I assure you. Just a little excursion. And you better be off, Hisao. I can't imagine it's long until all the curfew... long at all until curfew is here. Oh, damn, curfew. I'd completely forgotten. Yeah. Thank you for your concern, Hisao. Until then. Well, I know what it is now. Yeah. It's Misha. Shizune's probably there too. Misha and Shizune. Yeah. The morning rushes get... Uh-huh. So wait, a day passed in between this and this? The morning rush is giving me enough time to... I feel like, yeah, there's no way in that they're not even hiding it. Aww. Did you spill the beans? Yeah. Trepidation. Feeling better today? Yeah, thank you. The motion is needed for me to take my seat. My legs feel like sticks as they carry me there. This is gonna be a long day. She looks up at me and shakes her head. That's a big relief. It's just... Well, hello there, Hee-chan. It's nice to see you again today. I grimace and turn up towards the unmistakable voice coming from beside me. That was way too upbeat of tone of voice to feel comfortable, even from Misha. Hi, Shizune. Misha, you look happy to see me. Not feeling well yesterday, Hee-chan. I wasn't, but I'm feeling better now, at least. That's good to know, Hee-chan. Why do I get the feeling that Shizune is leading me into a trap? You sound like you're not being completely serious. Oh no, Hee-chan. We're genuinely pleased you're all better now. Oh no. In fact, we were quite worried about you, after all. You, Hanako, and Lily were all absent from class on the same day. Yep, she's got us. So thoroughly that all I could do is sigh in defeat. I guess you have your own theories about this. Could you just kind of not tell anyone? It's a bit late for that, Hee-chan. I suppose she's right, considering the looks I got as I entered class. Still, things are only seem to be at the level of vague suspicion rather than outright accusation, so we'll probably be fine. Hanako's face sinks a little further. Such attention is going to be troublesome for me, let alone for her. Going by Shizune and Misha's reactions, I think they noticed this as well. The only real reason why you're giving us such a hard time is you ignored us yesterday morning. Yesterday morning? Yeah. Alright, the knocking, that was you two. It wasn't. You left there for ages after we'd taken all the effort of coming to your dormitory early in the morning. Sorry, I was having a problem with nausea? Problem with nausea. They're not buying it. I can't blame them. Shizune's heart drops in resignation before she reaches into her pocket. I like the sweat. You don't check your... Iwanako. Iwanako? It's nothing. Thank you for bringing me this, you two. I should think so after what we went to get it to you. I step back and say my goodbyes. Misha theatrically pouts even as I go out the door, but Shizune and Hanako remain visibly curious about my reaction. I hope they won't interrogate me on this later. Yeah. Where did you take these photos? Like, the actual photos. Right. We remember this. I'm still gonna read it. Fragile. Reminds me of a certain someone. Dang. Goodbye. I mean, Iwanako seems like a shy girl. I feel bad for her as well. Be that as it may, this feels more final. A capstone on an experiment that both of us tried and failed at. A loud shout draws my eye away from the letter. It's just as some students horsing around with one of the teachers standing nearby coming over to talk to them. Yuko! Hello, Yuko. I thought you'd be in the library. Oh. Seriously, you should have something though. Yeah? I don't mind. Who was her boyfriend again? I genuinely do not remember. I think I had a theory about it. Does that make sense? She's taking my non-response and furrowed brows doubt. She really reads faces too much like a certain other person. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's alright. It's fine. Thank you anyway. Yeah. Girl, I'm pretty sure she's an adult. Is she? Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe she's... What is a... What's the boundary anyways? She could be like in college age or something. I was supposed to be back before the bell. Oops. I'll see you later, Hisao. Cheer up, okay? Try to. Thanks, Yuko. Feeling of walking through the streets is one of very deep nostalgia. While Yamaku may be the reverse of where I've lived in the past, the city at night is amazingly familiar. My eyes are moving constantly from the bright electronic screens glowing high in the night sky, to the street lamps piercing the darkness with their light, to the businessmen enjoying themselves after work and the busily talking couples on dates. Even if I didn't want to, I can't help soaking in every aspect of the city. I savor its familiarity like a sweet candy sitting on my tongue. Lily's walking on my left with her cane swinging to and fro, holding onto her sister's arm for guidance while talking to her. Yeah, probably. Oh, I like the hat. It's cute. Maybe not for the person on my right, though. While Lily was very used to her sister's driving style, and I quite liked a bit of excitement, Hanako was holding very tightly to the door for most of the trip. Everything doesn't look so pretty at night. Aww. Yeah, it does. The answer isn't very thorough, since I'm distracted by so many thoughts that I find it hard to keep up with small talk. One of those distractions, aside from the city's lights, is how Hanako looks. Yeah. This is the second time I'm seeing it. Second? Third? I don't know how many times it's been. Anyways, it gives me pause when I first saw her outfit when we met up at the school gate. Considering how much her head is lower when people walk near us, I imagine that the hat she wears is more than a fashion statement. While I was initially wary of Lily's plan to take us out into the city, when night fell, it became obvious she had thought about this. Not many people have paid Hanako much heed, since the darkness hides her scarring well. So we're in the city, any ideas where to? You'll see. Just follow us. Oh, God. Right. And I think y'all remember what I said about the last time we were here. Sorry. By the time she rights herself from the apologetic bow, the middle-aged businessman she bumped into is walking away after mumbling a half-hearted apology. Hanako looks a little put off by the experience, and as she quickly skips ahead to match my pace, I notice her head hanging low once more. She probably bumped into him because she was looking downwards and not where she was going. Don't do that. It's dangerous. I mean, you should always look down where you're walking so you don't step on anything weird, but, you know, it's like, don't... You know. I step a little to the side and put one hand on her far shoulder, drawing her closer. Isao? It's okay, you can walk closer to me if you want. Hanako hesitates but eventually nods in assent. Yup, the jazz club. Distinctly older. I think y'all remember. I told you about my own jazz club experience. You could go watch my older video for that. Wink, wink, wink. Not right now. What am I? Well, it's masked by the low talking of those around us. The jazz music can be heard emanating from inside. Looking up at the dimly lit sign, it becomes obvious why. A jazz club. I have to admit, this isn't what I expected. Lily gives an amused snort and a smile. Somehow, I feel like I should have known it, Akira. She does look pretty stylish, I will say. Come on, just because you're teenagers doesn't mean you can't have a taste. Right? Exactly. Well, I don't really mind the music if that's what you mean. I don't mind it either. She's only managing to force the words out. Contrasts heavily to when we're alone in Yamato, and it disappoints me a little that she's so high-strung for what's supposed to be a good time out on the town. It's hard to read Hanako's face as she keeps looking downwards. It's a little wonder if she doesn't come often out in the city because of this. It makes me a little thankful that my own scarring is easily hidden. Yeah. Anime genetics. What can I say? The music heard is clearer now, mixed in with sound of glasses moving on the table and counter, and the husky chatter of the patrons. Looking to my right reveals that the music source, the jazz group playing beyond some tables. The patrons seem to be mostly men, though there's a handful of women. Nobody looks under 30, apart from us, of course. Yeah. Aww. Hanako seems a little more relaxed now, probably due to nobody looking at her. Jazz clubs are pretty dark. Everyone's talking between themselves, drinking, or watching the band. How old is Akira, actually? Akira casually takes a seat at the counter without even glancing around. She's probably come here before. Lily retracts her claim, feeling out the bar stool and the edge of the counter before taking a seat beside her sister. The bartender takes a brief break from polishing a glass to watch her, before putting it down and coming over. Good evening, ladies. What'll it be? Just a scotch, thanks. Lily? May I have a glass of A black-suited elbow hits her side sharply. Orange juice, please. Oh, I completely forgot about that scene. No problem, coming right up. The bartender starts to pour their drinks. A couple seconds pass before Akira suddenly remembers that Hanako and I are indeed here and turns to us. You two want anything, or are you just gonna stand there? Hanako seems to be getting a bit restless. No matter where we're going to seat ourselves, there's going to be people right next to her. I don't think she looks convincingly older than 20, unlike Lily. Yeah, billiards. Hell yeah. We'll go play pool over there. Akira leans back to see past me before shrugging and sitting back up. Seems you'll have to put up with only me for company. How unfortunate. Have fun, you two. We turned and set off the abandoned corner, with Hanako taking the lead. The prospect of a nice, quiet game away from everyone makes her walk noticeably faster, her eyes staying firmly fixed on the prize. Huge painting of something. What? Is it something like Rin would paint? Rin's room? That's something I should consider. You know how to play? I'm no expert, but yeah, I do. Then, 8-ball? Sure. I think I mentioned this the last time we saw the scene as well. You owe me both, so... With balls arranged and ready for play, I step back and take my cue from her outstretched arm. I carry out a quick extension of the tip before I'm satisfied that it's in good condition. So you played before. Once or twice, I just kind of know the rules. Who'll break? I think for a moment. Coin flip, yes. I'll take heads, your tails. Looks like it'll be you that gets to break. Aww. Good to see this again. Well done. It's only after Hanako says this that I realize the ball I was shooting at was sunk. Aww. Guess I'm striped then. What's up? It's just a nice smile. Do you like playing this? I sigh and lean back against the table. I like playing, yeah. I think I was smiling because it's really nostalgic, though. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. Me and my friends used to play pool games at the game centers near where we live pretty often, and at night too. Wouldn't your parents... My parents both worked, so they didn't mind me not being in the house. Uh-huh. Conversation dies down with Hanako's timidity getting the better of her. In response, I get off the table and let her take her turn shooting. Aww. Hanako's expression is the same as when we play chess. A relaxed but focused concentration. Athletes sometimes talk about getting into a zone where nothing unnecessary enters their minds, and I wonder if that's something she can do. Ugh! Cute! Yep. You should probably try the textbook position. It'll help you get the best results. That's what I've learned from Doan Sports, at least. Having a good stance gets good results. Also, if you don't have a good stance, there's also a chance you could hurt yourself. Even if you get a good result, so, you know, just work on your stance. She takes the ball after careful consideration, and the cue ball zooms off towards a ball sitting at a slightly awkward angle near a corner. Man, that was a hard shot. If you could pull that off, I don't think I have much hope. I'm not that good. The Just not the shot, though. Even when lining up, you look really serious. You're like this with chess, too. The phrase makes her a little flustered. She sets her cue against the table and stands, turning to me. I just like those kinds of things. And I was in the orphanage. Oh. Yeah. Ooh, you're getting exclusive knowledge. Touched a nerve, but the fact that she responded at all knows that there's at least a chance she'll answer my question. Before, she would have likely just shrunk away from it without a word. I'll tell you, but... Could you tell me who Iwanako is? Iwanako... Oh, shit. I completely forgot about this. Yeah... I'm gonna be honest here, I'd actually forgotten the specific... I just remember that we played pool, but I'd forgotten, yeah... Okay, right. Nicely done. Aww. Yeah, that's not... Right. People didn't want her. You had to move out. I lay a hand on her shoulder. She's forcing herself by now. It's okay. She looks mildly surprised for a moment, but then nods before setting down her cue and turning towards me. Do you really think so? Yeah, I think so. Even Lily's away. I'll be around to protect you, right? Hell yeah! Hanako looks at me for a long time. I'm taken a bit off guard. Maudlin. I forgot to look that word up. I had forgotten about the specifics. Hanako? Ah. Yeah. Ah. Hanako, see. Oh, that was the 8 ball. That was an awful shot. You win. It's gonna get pretty rusty after all this time. Lily and Akira seems to be drinking at the counter. Seems like we'll have to drag them away. Hisao. I'm here for you as well. Thank you. Thank you, Hisao. Or Hisao. Hanako. Hisao's me! Ah. I suddenly find myself blushing. It's only natural she'd respond this way, given what I said earlier, but still a shock to actually hear it. Just what is my relationship with this girl? I want to protect her, to make her happy. I'm not sure that it's something like love, god fucking damn it, but I don't think these are the same kind of feelings I have for Lily either. God damn it. Especially now that Lily is leaving the country. Hanako and I finished tidying up the table and cues and picked Lily and Akira on our way out of the club. Yeah. Oh. Oh, no. Mm-hmm. What happened? Worry about the trip, Lily? A little. It means quite a bit. The comment earns a clap on the shoulder from her sister. Hanako smiles back too. You'll be okay, Lily. I hope you can enjoy your time over there. Thank you, Hanako. I will try to. It'll be nice to be back with my family after all, no matter how brief of a time it may be. Okay, wait. With that, the four of us begin the walk to the car park where Akira's car is. We continue the talk between ourselves, but it's mostly just small talk. Oh, my throat! Ow! It's not, like, sworn, but I'm a little tired. I actually managed to get to the place I wanted to get to. Beginning of the end. I got to where I wanted to be. Which is awesome. I'm gonna leave this off at here, because I am tired. Because what I need to do in just a few minutes is play Hearts of Iron 4. And that, folks, is what I will be streaming on Friday. I still don't have a thumbnail, which is why the stream isn't up yet. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put, like, a placeholder thumbnail and have it released soon, sometime today. Assuming you're in my same time zone. It could be as, or maybe it could even be as late as tomorrow. Same stream of consciousness, you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna put that down. I might, or I might not, assuming I don't forget. I need a thumbnail for that. But I need to, like, learn how to actually play the game, because we had a practice round yesterday, but I still barely know anything. So I'm going to need to, you know, I'm gonna need to practice. So yes, Hearts of Iron 4, folks. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I think that's all there is for that. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you haven't done so already, and make sure to smash that bell. Yes, on Sunday, I'll be finishing Needy Streamer Overdose. And yeah. Sky is up, and you guys are awesome. I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.